What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade coming to y'all Christmas Eve. I didn't forget about y'all. I made sure y'all got some knowledge and some nutrients for y'all to eat before Christmas. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. And it'll be a lot of games for us to watch. So everybody, happy Merry Christmas before it actually turns 12. And other than that, I'm gonna give y'all the top 10 duos. I usually do a top five, but I'm gonna go top 10 just to give y'all something, fresh and something different this year. Obviously, with all the signings and trades and coaches, I haven't been able to give my predictions the way I usually do. But this will be probably one of the last ones I do unless y'all recommend something else. Injuries do factor in on this list, and not knowing fits will factor in. Also, I don't have John Wall, James Harden, for example, just because James Harden seems uninterested. He seems like he really doesn't want to be there. And you can't be a top duo if you're a person, if one of your players is not even engaged. CJ and Dame, I didn't have them. They're a playoff, walking playoff duo. But CJ, I don't look at him as an all-star caliber player, especially playing with Dame because he's more of the second option. And I didn't have them making this list. But number 10, I got Luka and Porzingis, mainly because of Luka. Luka is just that good that I have him being able to crack 10. The reason why I don't have them higher is because of Porzingis. He has had multiple lower body injuries, but when he is healthy, he is a guy that can protect the rim, knock down shots from all over the court, great free throw shooter, and just overall a good dude. So he is All Star formerly, and so is Luka. When you combine both of them, they definitely will be higher. But it is going to be a rusty Porzingis. It is going to be a Porzingis that's going to have to get back in shape, get back in the groove. So I don't really see him being the Porzingis that we were starting to see last year before the bubble. And in that case, I can't put him no higher than 10. Plus, they never really had a big run either as a duo, as they only made the playoffs once and didn't go far. So Luka, he's carrying them into the top 10, but at the bottom, 9, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I would put Kemba, but obviously Kemba had the knee injury and he's not even going to start the season. Jaylen Brown did play at an All-Star caliber level last year, and Jason Tatum became an All NBA player last year. And on top of that, they did become the Eastern Conference Finals. They got there, and they did that as a team. Now, I think Jaylen Brown is just as good as Kemba because he is a two-way player, but Kemba is just so explosive and he puts so much pressure on defenses that his offense is just that impactful on a team like Boston. And with him going down with a knee injury, and he likes to use a lot of speed and quickness and shooting ability, I have to put Brown now at ninth, and with putting Brown as the duo with him and Tatum, I had to bump them down to 9, even though they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. 8, Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. I'm lower on them just because they only got to the second round, even though they did get to a game 7. I feel like Jimmy Butler was the best player on that team, and Joel Embiid had averaged 30, but he wasn't efficient from the field, efficient from free throw, or even turnover. He was very turnover prone. And Ben Simmons is an elite level defender. You can say the same thing about Embiid, but they continue to miss a lot of time and they continue to have huge injuries and they haven't had the playoff success either. So I can't really put them as one of the top 5 duos if they haven't really had big playoff success as the 2 best players. Plus, they have been going with having major injuries to their bodies, and that cost them a lot of time. And that cost them a lot of time they can be developing and gelling as a duo, which they still haven't been able to do at an elite level 2 as a duo. So I only can put them 8th. 7, Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. Donovan Mitchell showed in the bubble that he's one of the more unstoppable players in the game once his jump shot is going, especially from 3. If Donovan Mitchell is knocking down threes, he's virtually unguardable with the ability to hit the floaters, the ability to make the pass with shooters around him, and a guy that can finish with Gobert, who has been an all NBA player multiple seasons in a row and the best defensive center outside of Joel Embiid. And he is a guy that can get you double digit rebounds and also still give you double digit points. And he just became the highest paid center ever. That means this team is expected to do a lot. They have made it to the second round multiple times, just like these other duos, and they have been pretty good together when they are locked in and focused and healthy. So I still do have Donovan Mitchell and Gobert as one of the best duos. 6, Jamal Murray and Jokic, and a lot of it has to do with bubble Jamal Murray. He was so excellent and so dominant in the bubble that it made him look like an all-star caliber player. But Jokic was just absolutely fantastic, even in the beginning of the season, being able to get that many rebounds, that many assists, while still being that dominant from the field, from everywhere on the court. It just shows you how good Jokic is. And I have Jokic as one of my top 10 players in the league. So if you have one of those, you're definitely going to be there. And Jamal Murray complements him very well, knowing when to pass, knowing when to shoot, knowing when to pick apart the defense. His playmaking still needs to get better. Defense needs to get better. Offense needs to get more consistent. But we can't hate on them. They got to the Western Conference Finals and they made it to the playoffs multiple times, and they have been able to lock up a top 3 seed the last 2 years in the Western Conference, and that is credentials for them as a duo. Even though Jamal Murray hasn't been selected as an All Star. 5, I got Kevin Durant, Kyrie. I feel like Kyrie is one of the most unstoppable scorers in the league, and you know what? I think Kevin Durant is too. I think the only reason why I don't have them higher like everybody else is I have to see more. I don't really believe the hype that Kevin Durant looks like the old Kevin Durant. He's not scoring as many points as he usually does, and he's not nowhere near efficient as he was before the injury, especially if you count what he did against the Clippers in Houston. He's not that Kevin Durant. He still is an all-star caliber player, and he still is going to get his, especially with the assists and the rebounds and the scoring, and so is Kyrie. So I don't have them as a top 3 duo, but potentially they can get there by the end of the season if Kevin Durant can feel his game out a little bit, get a little bit more comfortable, and get his confidence back to where it used to be. But he shows signs that he's not that far away from it, but also he is not the same Kevin Durant that he was prior to injury. Number 4, Jimmy Butler and Bam. This is a duo that got to the NBA Finals. This is a duo that has 2 All-Stars. These guys are both All-Stars. They're both two-way players. They both unselfish. They can go pass. They can go take over, like we seen Bam do against my Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, and Jimmy Butler did against the Bucks, who was the number 1 team in the NBA, and he was able to close them out with his aggressive play. But we also saw Jimmy Butler rise his game to an all-star, superstar level against the one of the best teams in the league, if not the best at that time, which was the Los Angeles Lakers, who also has LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and one of the best defenses. And Jimmy Butler pierced their defense with his passing, played great defense, and also scored when he needed to score, and even had some of the best numbers we ever seen from him. And he did it when it mattered most, which is the NBA Finals when you're competing for a title. And Bam did decline because of the injuries, but Jimmy did rise because of the injuries. And that's why I still have him number 4. Number 3, Giannis and Chris Middleton. Both All Stars. I feel like Chris Middleton played at an All NBA level for his position last year, even though he did not make it barely. That shows you how good of a player he is, being able to shoot and being able to take over games from time to time, while also being very efficient from the field and also as a improved passer. Giannis is basically one of the best players we have in the league. Basically unstoppable and unguardable, especially in the regular season. One of the best two-way players, if not the best two-way player we have in the league. And if you have that plus an all-star, all-NBA caliber player on your team, well, you know what? You probably is one of the top 3 duos. Number 2, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. They flamed out, but they still was number 2 in the West. Kawhi Leonard looked good for majority of the playoffs. He did have a couple duds, but majority of his games was dominant. Plus, he is still one of the better two-way players, improved passer, efficient from the field, and can be clutch from time to time. And Paul George, he comes and goes, but still is a great defender, good playmaker for his position, also can take over games and get hot, was a guy that was formerly an All NBA player and All Star, and I do think he gets back to that this year. And if that's the case, you know, you got two-way players that can do multiple things on the court, on both sides of the court. I still have them number 2 and number 1. You know, LeBron and AD, the championship duo, and the number 1 team in the West for a majority of the year. And with that being said, if you can come on with the Finals MVP and the championship and beat the West by 5 games every series and finish off the Miami Heat in the finals in 6, Gotta give a little bit credit to LeBron James and AD as the best duo. I had them number one going into the season last year, and they proved me right. And I do have the Lakers winning the championship this year because of their duo. It's just so good. They complement each other very well. They both play decent to great defense, and they both are two of the most unstoppable players in the league, especially when they're locked in and focused. And if you want to come for the throne, if you want their spot, take it. And we'll see if a team can take it this up and coming season. So, other than that, check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description, comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for everybody that likes on Facebook. Not only that, you can also check out my Facebook for merchandise. You can change the color of the hat, change the color of the logo, customize the hat and the shirt that how you want it to be. Message me and I can get it shipped out to you. You can also buy exclusive merchandise on my spread shirt that will also be in the description in the comment section below. Not only that, feel free to comment what you agree, what you disagree. If you want to let me know what list you have or what order it should be in, feel free to comment. I read every comment. I appreciate the people that leave them. Not only that, if you want to support the channel without buying merchandise, liking and sharing. Liking and sharing allows this channel to reach more people, be seen by more people, and that's another way to support the channel without buying merchandise, and I will appreciate either one. Other than that, I have videos every single day, so you love NBA basketball, you need that daily fix. Check out my older videos, and also I have over 2,000, whether it's breakdowns of players, legends, rookies, and also summer league coverage, free agency talks and discussions, trade deadline discussions, top 10 lists as you see here, season previews also, and also playoff predictions of, when those do happen, and also just normal discussions throughout the year. Other than that, hopefully you guys agree, and if you don't, let me know. Let's get at it in the comment section below. But hopefully you guys have a good Christmas. I'll be back to give y'all a gift of another video. And other than that, Quinn Wade, basketball analysis, I'm gone, and enjoy the rest of y'all day.